This evening we'll be doing a virtual Rabbie Burns dinner. Our first course is Cullen Sink. Cullen Sink is a lightly smoked haddock chowder featuring leek and peppercorn and Yukon potatoes. It will be paired with the Del Winnie 15. Next, we have haggis. Haggis is the most important part of a Burns dinner. It is a lamb and oat meatloaf with turnips and potato mash. When we serve haggis, there's always a toast that needs to be done to the haggis, and at this time we will turn it over to some friends of the club for that toast.
Good evening. For over 200 years, on or about January 25th, people around the world have gathered to celebrate the life and works of Scotland's most famous bard, Rabbie Burns. We ask you to join us tonight and toast his immortal memory. To Rabbie Burns, Slán Siobhá.
Next up, we have Tipsy Laird. It is traditional trifle done in Scotland, drenched in drambuie with raspberries and almond, and it is paired with an Oban 14. Following that, we have a Scottish cheese assortment, an aged Scottish cheddar, a whiskey cheddar, and a Danish blue, served with house-made oat crackers and paired with Lefroy 10. To finish out the evening, we have some Scottish shortbread cookies and Glenkitchy 12. I hope you all enjoy this evening. For a more in-depth description of all the scotches this evening, stick around.
Del Winnie 15 is a Highland single malt with simple but flawless flavors. A clean, crisp whiskey with notes of toffee, custard, apple blossom, and a touch of smoke on the nose. On the palate, you will find tastes of honey and walnut, while gentle smoke weaves its way through with a touch of spice, leading to a long, malty finish. Our second pairing is Talisker 10. This whiskey from the Isle of Skye has a fresh and fragrant nose, and through thick, pungent smoke comes sweet pear and apple, with pinches of maritime salt. With your first sip, you'll notice a crisp peat, which then softens to enormous richness in the mouth. The sherry notes keep back some of Talisker's usual pepper. In its place is luscious, sweet, oily sweetness, with ripe, juicy fruit and vanilla. Look for cocoa notes on the finish, with the sweetness out-edging the dry. For our third whiskey tonight, we have Oban 14 from the Scottish Highlands. The nose is rich and smoky with notes of the sea, seaweed and tarry ropes, along with the smell of cut hay and wood smoke rising with a gentle sweetness. The palate is thick and full with notes of citrus and smooth sweetness, and smoke wafts with notes of seaweed, while the oak is quite rich with grist and cereal and malt. The finish is of good length with fruit and dry oak. On to our fourth whiskey, Lefroy 10, an Islay from southwestern Scotland. This opens on big, smoky, muscular peat notes. There are spices and licorice, as well as a big dose of salt. This whiskey has become slightly sweeter in recent years, and it appears beautifully on the nose. A seaweed-led palate with a hint of vanilla ice cream. There's big oak, and it muscles its way into the fore as you hold this whiskey over your tongue, while an upsurge of spices develops, such as cardamom, black pepper, and chili. Our final whiskey is Glenkitchy 12-year. This Scottish lowland whiskey is a fantastic introduction to the region and shows off the characteristic lightness and grassy elements that lowland whiskeys are known for, with nods to cooked fruit and sauternes wine along the way. A brilliant single malt to enjoy as an aperitif on a warm evening, with a light aromatic nose containing hints of barley malt, almonds, hazelnut, and honey. Glenkitchy showcases a very fruity palate with a mix of stewed fruits, dessert wine, apple peels, and honey with an oak finish late. Thank you for joining us for our Rabbie Burns dinner. Hope you enjoy.